Well guys, I think it's time to show you what I've been working on. Today, we're taking a look at a new style for the creative project. So you guys kind of decided on steampunk and all that kind of stuff. So I went ahead and did a little bit of a mock-up of, this is an observatory right here, but I haven't done any of the interiors. I've mostly just done the texturing type of style I want to do and all that good stuff. I've been working on it over the past few weeks, kind of mismatching, changing things in and out, until I finally got something I like and felt comfortable enough showing you guys. So we're going to kind of work our way going from down towards the upper area, and then there's some other stuff over that way, but we'll get onto that in a few later videos. If the background sound is too loud in this, like with the touching, like all the Matmos sounds, like the gravel and the stone brick and everything, just let me know and I'll tune it down. But you guys will just have to let me know on that, because I messed with the volume settings a bunch and it doesn't seem to change a whole lot. Anyways, so here's a carriage that is really poorly done, to be honest. It's got just some back storage right here, and the nice little central area. There's a chair there to sit on, a little lip, and then he's got his own little storage stuff right in there. And then the front area, I'm not a huge fan of this. I tried making like a steampunky design for a carriage and it didn't work out too well, but I had to keep it small enough to get out these doors because the doors are pretty small. So that's kind of what I came up with for there, but definitely going to be revisiting this guy in the future. In the upper area, I didn't do anything up here. I just kind of did the staircase to show the type of style I want to do for the interiors. Basically, how this is going to work is it's very much going to be steampunky, yeah, steampunky, not bunky. But a lot of the like darker woods and things, but then lighter stones, so we get that cool contrasty color. And the era is Renaissance-ish, pre-industrial, so like no motors, no anything like that. It's all still like horse and naturally powered, like no coal engines or things like that, because I just didn't really want to deal with them. And then it's kind of going to be like I got a few signs right over here actually that we can take a look at real quick. So it's going to be like the biome is going to be the cold taiga, so we get this nice darker grass, or more of a, I guess it's a lighter white-ish grass. It's going to be a late fall, so like harvest time for all the fields around. There's going to be some snow up in the mountains and like frost setting in, so like maybe on the rivers or something. Higher elevations, there's going to be a little bit of frost here and there. But yeah, so now we can keep going on over this way. I really like this design. It's really simple, just for like light posts and things like that. I figure it's a good starting design to test out for now. Up here is kind of just a general design, or another just design for a light post, and we're kind of working our way up. You see the really light stones, so I do want to have like pipes and things, so I'm pretty conflicted right now of how like steampunk design I want to go, because they're very much about like the steam powered and things like that. I don't want to do like car engines and stuff, probably, like I was just saying, I don't really want to do that. But then also, like, I really like the steampunk designs where we can kind of get these pipes and things going up on the buildings, so I think it works out really well, and it gives a really interesting way of kind of sprucing up the buildings and turning them into like a steampunk-y design. But so in this area, this is kind of just a general area right here. So this is the first time I've actually used the new Conquest of the Sun shaders, because I was using CUDA and they just kind of looked a little weird for some reason with how some of these blocks are shaped. So I decided to take it off that for now while I'm showing you guys. But yeah, so this observatory, I really like it, how it turned out. It's just kind of a big walkway spiraling up, and we get to the second tower back here, which again has a lot of like these steampunky aspects of like just hanging off, or little bits like the iron piping hanging off. And I really like that we have the pillar blocks now, like these guys, because then they don't connect, and then it looks a lot more realistic like a pipe. And then like here it's kind of, sorry, not used to this creative stuff quite yet, but here it's kind of reconnected back to the build there to solidify it and like kind of strength, like so it doesn't just like fall off because it's only connected down there. Then here again connect it off before it goes off, and it's just kind of, there's the smoke trail and everything. Yeah, so in here it could be like more storage or something, or even like a little shop back here. I randomly threw the barrel over there because I want to see the new barrel texture, so I'm just gonna put it down. They're pretty cool. I like them. Yeah, so now we're at the top area right here. I'll be honest, I haven't done the interior. I'm mostly just working with the outside textures currently right now. I started looking at the interior things, but not a whole lot has been done. I really want to just get the style and the texturing, the palette down, more or less. Now, I really like how this turned out for like the more formal buildings that are like more of the stone, the harder, more dense buildings and whatnot. So I really like this one. I went with a too thick design just so we could get a different texture on the inside, which I haven't even done yet. But yeah, so it's just kind of that gray working into a white, like bleached texture, which I don't know why I'm really obsessed with the whited out ones right now. I just feel like everybody does very dark textures and things like that. So we might as well try and make a light build. And then in here, it's just kind of a general shape of the interior. So yeah, there's the little furnace connecting to that stuff on the outside. I don't know why we have a torch there. Don't need that. But back here, it's just a little way to look out, kind of see what's around, but it's super flat, so not very interesting. And this guy kind of can just walk up here, and we got all this stuff up here. So I'm debating on whether or not I want to actually take this build into the actual world or not, but it's just like we might take parts of it. I don't know about the whole thing, because it'd be kind of hard to just paste this down because it's pretty uniquely shaped, more or less. But here's the little second tower over here. So you get in this guy from the top floor, and then you can go down right about in here. And we haven't done anything yet. I did a little outlook right here, a little painter's station, because it's supposed to be an observatory. I figured that somebody would like to paint or something looking at the scenery, or the horses down there. Not that there's scenery. I keep trying to hit C to zoom, because that's what I had as the thing before, but it's the creative menu for grabbing all the different blocks. But it's Z to zoom now, so I'm going to be doing that a lot, so I'm really sorry about that. But yeah, so that's what this is in here. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Gotta still do the interior roof for this guy, probably. There's another, just kind of how the piping things are going to work. I want to do a lot of, instead of just like straight piping, I really want to have a lot of bends and curves to it, just because I feel like that's a lot more steampunky, and like they just kind of throw it together to make it work. Over here we have the little down ramp to the upper area of what was the garage, I guess you could call it. And I really like this design for kind of doing the borders and things, because there's a lot of different variations in it's not a flat surface down here, and then we have all this railing and stuff up here, and I thought it was pretty cool. And then beyond that, these the balustrades and the little newel caps. I really like that design. I originally had, let's see, I had just a block right there, but I didn't really like it so much. And then it not connecting gives that kind of cool little way you can kind of view through it. I thought it was a really cool touch to it. And then I randomly threw a little chimney coming up from the garage upper area into here. Just because I figured that would be kind of make sense, because it is the roof, so some piping would come up out of it and just be kind of more of that steampunky design. Yeah, so now we can go inside this guy. And I didn't do a whole lot in here, I'll be honest. Grab this guy so we get some light, I think. Yeah. So the inside, I want to change this up to probably like a different clay or something like that to get a cool design in it. And just so we can have really colorful interiors. And like very much artsy. I really want to have this be a very artsy style. So kind of not flamboyant, but like bold colors and things like that. Really showing wealth in the areas that are wealthy. And then up here I made like a little observatory platform. This is the best I could do for a chair. He's got his little map. And I guess he'd look into this thing. Maybe. Like that. That'd be like... But the telescope itself is not that great. It's definitely something I need to work on if we want to use this in the actual build or not. But I thought it was kind of a cool way of having a raised platform, and then like this could kind of be going up and down, and then it's controlled through this stuff right here just for turning it. And I'd probably change this up quite a bit somehow. I just kind of throw this together so we could get an idea of what we're looking at. And we can use our flight and just kind of go on up here, take a look. Yeah, so this is kind of what I did for the design of it. I don't really like it, to be honest. But it's just as much as I could make a circle out of it while keeping it small. And I don't know why we used the yellow, but we did. And then the diamond blocks would kind of be like the mirrors of the telescope itself. And then here we have the roof. I want to go again with kind of like those bright colored roofs and things like that, just because I feel like that's pretty steampunky, of having like gold, silver, bronze, whatever roofs, just very colorful. Just because they're like, it's easy to like bronze something. But yeah, so that's kind of how the roof works. And I want to do little type things on the round roofs, just kind of something at the top, just a little figurine. What would be really cool, because it's an observatory, is have like an Atlas type dude just like sitting here holding a little globe on his head, but it's so small that we can't do that. We'd have to make this extremely oversized to be able to do that type of thing. And like in here, we really got to work with this anyways, and probably cut this guy back probably like right off at this point. So kind of where those lanterns are. That's the max we want to take him to. And we got to create some stuff in here probably so that it can turn. Or I guess more it could probably kind of go like this. Just kind of bring it all the way out to the side so it has something to brace off, because it is just floating right now, which that's kind of, but yeah, so this thing would probably be in the middle of it, and so we'd probably want to chop it off right about there. But yeah, so that's that type of stuff. And the other roofs are very similar. They're just a little bit of a flatter circle or flatter dome. Very much trying to just have a color and then a border. Like using a wood as a border, then I think this is auburn. Yeah, auburn. So we have all that different stuff, and that's kind of really how this style is going to work, more or less. So this is how the building itself is going to work, and that's kind of what I have set up for it. Beyond that, I guess we can take a step into this. So we have the terrain over here. This, you probably, if you guys follow me on Twitter, you've probably seen me doing a lot of screenshots in the past few days of me being like, oh, you know, this is what I've decided. But so the palette I kind of came up with, because this is going to be a really big build. I want to have a lot of late fall blooming flowers, so I went with a lot of very colorful. One sec, guys, my throat is killing me. All right, hopefully we can talk now. Yep, that feels a lot better. Okay, so anyways, like I was saying, this is a lot of the colors that I want to do, because I want to do a late fall. I'm not set on using all of these, but this is kind of the general idea I came up with. We got our taller flowers in the back, lots of nettles for underneath the forests, underneath the trees and all that kind of good stuff. I guess those are nettles right there, we can get rid of those. The Angelicas, I don't really know if I want to use them yet. They have a cool texture, kind of bring it up like that, makes it look like a little bush. So we might mix some of those in certain regions. I gotta kind of look up more about what that flower is before we kind of figure out where we're going to be using it. Cattails, of course, large ferns, tall grass, ferns, grass. Here we have the autumn reeds. We have autumn bracken, blackberry bushes, of course, bilberry, the knabbenkraut, I don't know. This one I haven't put in anywhere yet. I don't really know if I want to use that. We get beautyberry bushes. We got the azure bluets, and we got the oxidized daisies for little like lighter colored flowers. Dandelions, because yes, I want to get a lot of yellows in the hills and mountains and things. Rock rose, of course, for that more of that golden, that kind of golden-y color. Like, I think it's a cool color. And then we got the yellow bed straw, which is more for the yellow, just adding some variation into it. And over here, the white clematis, yeah. I haven't used those anywhere yet. The alpine sow thistle, I don't think I've used this anywhere either. The wildflowers and the blue wildflowers, we're using a lot of those for sure. Heather, we're using a lot of these. And then cow parsley, we're going to be using quite a bit of it. That's kind of the general idea of all the different flowers and things that I've gone on here. I can clear this stuff out. And we'll be going from there. And I just kind of threw some little butterflies up above this because I thought it was kind of cool. What do they look like on the ground? That's kind of cool. Just gonna float there. Interesting. I wonder if you could like somehow get those to not despawn. It'd be really cool. But yeah, so I guess we can kind of show you guys the rest of this. Over here, everything is very compacted together because I just want to try a bunch of different styles and see where we're going with it. And I tried working with the stones quite a bit because we have the lighter stones up in here, so we have to have lighter stones in here, of course. And so this is kind of what I came up with. And yeah, so this is kind of all we have here. We got these little trees that are using that small tree bush and the weeping willow leaves. Just thought it was kind of a cool texture to go with it. We are in the cold taiga biome, so say like I grab like... It's going to make trees a little bit more interesting. Let's see. Oh, no organic blocks. So say we grab like an oak leaf or something. So in the cold taiga biome, like it's green in our hand, but it's kind of that red-orange color when we paste it down, which we could use for some like late fall trees or things like that, kind of pinpoint it around, which would be cool. But I went through and grabbed some just green shrub leaves that we could use. So we have the horse chestnut leaves and we have the birch bright apple leaves, which I just thought those two together would kind of give cool little textures throughout it. And the bright apple leaves don't have apples actually on them, so then I was like, okay, well I can actually use these as like a little shrub. But anyway, so we got some of the yellow flowers mixed in right here, just kind of having that little bit of variation. I think it looks really cool. Then I did a strip of the heather, just kind of here, just trying to show how that would be working. And those kind of grow in big clumps, more or less. And then here we got a little bit of a water way, kind of showing how the border would be working using like autumn reeds and things like that. Different bits of cattails and all that fun stuff. And I might change the river biome itself, because in the river biome it doesn't actually... I guess let's try... where can we find dirt? I just want to get regular old dirt. Okay, so that does put them in there. That's good to know. Okay, so yeah, we can use dirt as the base, or in the river. Kind of... Oh, that's really deep. So I wanted to have like the reeds kind of poking up along the edge of the river, kind of like that. I know this is really skinny, so we can't have a great view of it, but yeah, so that's just kind of all the different stuff in this area. So we got all of these things and just different types of shrubs and kind of how the gravel is coming down off of the mountains. I really want to make sure that's very much in the game, or in the map itself, when we get that made up and finalized. And then the texturing on the hills themselves, hardened clay, mossy stone, diorite, mossy white rock, uncut marble, and there's some other stuff mixed in here around, I believe. I don't know how much of this like hyper detailing I'm going to be doing with like the vertical slabs and the trapdoors and things like that, but we're definitely going to be like mixing it in just to try and keep it a bit more interesting. And then up here on the top we have just a patch of the blue wildflowers. I think these are going to look really, really cool when we get them up in the mountains, and I'm really pumped to see how those are going to turn out. And then over here we have a yellow, I was going to say purple, I don't know why, but these are more of the yellow flowers right in here, and then just some more of the little bushes, kind of blackberry bushes and things like that. What I really wish I was able to do that ended up kind of looking a little awkward was taking the blueberry bush, because I feel like those would be kind of in season right now, and kind of dotting them along pathways and things like that. But it just stands out so much against everything else we have going on here that I don't feel comfortable using them. I feel like they would kind of take away from a lot of the other stuff. But anyways, guys, please let me know what you guys think about this showcase so far of where we're going to be going with the creative project. I can't wait to hear what you guys are saying about it. And just, again, let me know. Please leave a like and subscribe if you guys are new on this video. And always, guys, I will see you next time.